What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Classic Physique Radio. We got your hosts, Nick Bagley, Terrence Ruffin, Jarek Crew, and then this week we got our boy Austin Espy joining us. What's up, dude? How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
Not bad, not bad. Terrence, you've met Austin before, right? Like obviously when you compete and whatnot.
Is that it? Are you joking?
No,
No,
I
it's
know
just
when you I know
I'm
you've competed together, but I wasn't sure if y'all
I
met
don't
outside of just that.
no, I've known us. I don't know how old you were when we first met, but yeah, for it's
I
Oh,
been a
fuck
think,
yeah.
while.
dude, you've been like, I mean, you were like, you're still my idol, but like, it's like, I remember when I was, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of the
No, it's
sport.
great.
Hey, look,
I'm
I'm
a
gonna
huge
beat you,
fan of the
but
sport.
you're still
Like,
my idol.
honestly, but no, what was it like 20? I think it was like 2018 or 2019. I did a show or something, and I posted something, and you like commented, and I freaked out, and it was just like, I was like, holy crap, man! Like, commented, telling everybody about it. It was super cool. But and then like I think I went to try to get my pro card at nationals, and then I think you followed me and like you followed my journey and stuff, and you were like commenting here and there. It's cool.
Yeah. We met back in Tampa,
That's what it was. Yeah,
whatever year. I don't know what year. I
like 2021, I think maybe.
mhm.
At Tampa Pro or
No, we both lived there.
oh, you
No,
both lived there
dude,
at the
we,
same
we
time?
first, you probably don't remember it, but I was at Junior USA's. It was my first national show, and I was taking pictures, and I was like, I need a picture with you. And I took my shirt off and did a front double bicep.
I do not remember it at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I'll have to send
Okay.
you the picture.
Yeah, now we have to find that because now I feel like I need to put that in the episode later on.
I posted it like 4 times after Junior US because I didn't do well at all. And that's the only highlight I had was my picture with Terrence.
I was gonna
Oh
say
shit.
that's when
Okay.
you was with Cameron, but you just said you didn't do well, so that was
Oh
probably
no.
before.
Junior USA's was far before Cameron. That
Probably
was 2021.
okay.
Oh yeah, that was actually I started working with Cameron in 2022 in January. That was it was just that was not a good prep. I was just like a string bean. It was so bad.
Huh.
So I mean, take us through, I guess, that year because I know you was going through a lot, emotionally as well, mentally as well.
In 2021.
2021, I guess 2021, 22, kind of around that range, right?
Yeah, so man, like I guess I'll preface it by saying like I was like real messed up before bodybuilding. Like I made like poor decisions and like I know everybody has their thing, right? But I just really like am not proud of who I was before I started bodybuilding, like full transparency. And just like decisions I could have made better and stuff like that. And I always just kind of like look down on myself a little bit. So this was like a way for me to like be better and like progress at something and like prove to myself more so that like, like I'm worth it or whatever. So that kind of led me, to like 2021 when I won Legion Sports Fest, obviously the NPC portion in 2020. It was 2020, so the shows weren't super hard, but I still won it, and I was, on cloud nine and everything, and everybody was hyping me up. So I was like, I'm ready for a national show, and was far from ready for a national show. I was peeled, like it was probably one of my most conditioned looks. It was actually pretty insane. It was my first time ever seeing glute striations, but they were all the way across. So I was like, man, I'm peeled for this. And I was
The
like, once I
walnut
carve
glutes.
up, it's gonna be crazy. But I didn't have enough muscle, so like I didn't carve up. Like it just did not look like I thought it was gonna look. But yeah, that was like a really hard show because that was what May. I think Junior USA is in May. Um, that was in May, and I had all this hype going into that show. Like Bodybuilders Without Borders was posting me a ton, which like, he was like really Daniel was like really big back then. It was like, if you got posted
Yeah,
by
that's when I
them.
first seen you like on Instagram. So
Yeah. And like I kind of rode that wave and like that kind of, I'll talk about that later, but kind of let like myself get hot-headed from that and just kind of like just had like really unrealistic expectations going into my first national show. And like I really got hit hard when I got like third call outs. And I was like, oh, like, man, everybody said I was gonna get my pro card. And I'm just like in third call outs. And I think that's the first time I realized that like social media is so much different than real life. And just like lighting and everything. Cause I mean, like I look cracked in all my pictures because it was always like perfect down lighting, like everything was amazing. And I think that's now why I don't post as many things like that. Maybe I'll throw one up every once in a while, but it's more like just raw stuff because it's like I just want to be like if anything, worse on Instagram than I am on stage. It's kind of like, I don't know, have like the upper edge, I guess. It's kind of like a mental thing. But yeah, that was a hard year, man. It kind of hit me really hard. And I was like, all right, well, I need to kind of like reconsider like what I'm doing here because, I'm still young, but like I'm getting older and I already put like 3 good years into the sport, like getting to that point. And I just like wasn't going to college and, I was coaching, but it wasn't like, I wasn't coaching to coach. I was coaching to supplement my bodybuilding career back then. And it was like, it just wasn't the forefront of my life. And I was just like, didn't have any direction, like job wise. And like, I was making money from sponsors and commissions and stuff. So it was like enough, but I was like, where does this go? Like, where does this lead in like 5 to 10 years? Like, am I going to be able to actually like do this and like make this work? Because 3 months ago before this show, everybody thought I was going to be able to make this work. And now I'm questioning it. So that's kind of where I was after that show. So, I actually
That
got
was 20. You said that was 22?
2021. This is
21.
2021. And I was actually 21. And then I turned 22 in June. And I actually got a job after that because I just wanted to start saving a ton of money because I felt like really guilty for like I felt like I wasted 3 years. I'm just like really hard on myself sometimes. So I just like really felt like I wasted like 3 years of my life. And I'm like, wow, like all my friends that went to college are like, they're about to graduate and they're gonna have like 6-figure jobs, and I'm just like over here like barely scraping by trying to make this work. And so reality started to kick in, and I got this job at this moving company, which is like totally not the right place to get a job for this sport. So, but I was like, man, it pays so much money because I can make really good tips if I treat people well, and just go up and beyond. So, that was the first job where I like actually took a lot of pride. It sounds really bad, but like I took a lot of pride in it because that was like my new thing is I wanted to progress as much as I could there, save money, and then go do something else. Because I was kind of trying to phase out of bodybuilding, to be completely honest, because just didn't really see it for me anymore at that point. And then I just saw this like thing pop up for nationals, and I was like, I don't even know who was on the poster, but I was like, man, I feel like I could beat that person. Like I feel like I could, like I don't know, I just got that like fire back in me for some reason, and I just like I wasn't competitive at all right then. Like I was kind of like in the dumps, and then I just saw this picture, and for some reason it like reminded me of my physique, and I'm like, I feel like I could beat that person. I want to try to do, I want to do the show. So it's like I just instantly just like wanted to compete again. And I feel like that's just kind of the sport, at least for it has been for me. It just kind of comes and goes in waves. And I just kind of like ride the wave when I'm feeling good one year. And like if I feel like I don't feel good, then maybe just do like one show or just not even compete. Um,
Not
but
not to interrupt you, but I mean, 4 years later, you did step on the Olympia stage.
no,
Like,
yeah.
like that is pretty crazy to sit here and get like that's why I asked again, was it 2021 or 2022? Because it's like, I mean, that's not that long ago to where you're in a spot where you're like, oh, I got third call-outs at nationals to now having been amongst one of the individuals to step across the Olympia stage this year. I mean, that's pretty freaking
I
wild.
mean, I'll get into that in a second, but like, man, I'm so grateful for like like that's the biggest thing is like I'm just super grateful. But we're getting there. This basically like the time between nationals in 2021 and junior USA's, it was like what 6 months, 7 months. Um, maybe a little bit more. But basically, I just got a job and I started working my butt off. I was just like, I just want to save as much as I can, and I was just like I was like financially driven, but in like a good way. It wasn't like I want to save money to like do this or like flex this. I just really wanted to just like be a better person because I felt like I literally wasted 3 years of my life. And like I said, I wasn't the best person before this sport. And I just wanted to like have a positive impact, at least in my head. And this was my way of doing that and just like saving for my future or something. So that was like where all my energy was. Like I was working like 12 to 14 hours a day there sometimes, like, working, out of state sometimes, well, out of the city sometimes. I was living in Reno, Nevada at the time. So we had some pretty cool gyms there, but it was a vibe. I was in a relationship with a pro, bikini pro, and it was pretty cool because like I got to see a different side of the sport and just kind of like, how the pros get treated a little differently than like the NPC, obviously, because they earned it. And I think that was like a really cool thing for me to see and like kind of witness, just being part of like meeting different people and stuff. So that was kind of cool. But I just felt myself drifting away from the sport a little bit because I was just so invested in like, other things. And then, like I said, I saw that flyer, ended up, I hired Kim Odo
Oh,
for a
wow.
prep because, yeah, he is actually, I mean, we were very minimal with everything, and I felt
Wait,
amazing.
wait, hold up, Ruff. Why'd you say wow? Who's this guy?
Well, nothing bad. I just normally
Oh, okay,
Kim is
okay.
known as like a bikini coach. So
Yeah,
like most
yeah,
Oh,
people
Oh,
that's
wouldn't.
okay.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
thought
yeah.
that was. Yeah.
I mean, he's a great coach, to be honest with you. Like, it was actually like, I was kind of blown away. I mean, he coaches Arya. I'm not sure if he still competes, but Arya, he coaches him, and I mean, he looks crazy. But no, he prepped me, and I had a really just easy, fun prep. It was like really easy because I think back then when I don't know. I think back then when I was still like chasing like, now it's kind of like, take a step back and like refine a little bit, figure out what you need to work on and come back a little bit better. Back then it's like you can like leap and stuff, like leapfrog if you really want. A lot easier at least. I think I was just like, I don't know, I was like really locked in with the whole prep. It was just really smooth prep. And like I said, very minimal. So the headspace was amazing. And then I got to that show, and since we were minimal with things, I was kind of downsized, but I was just kind of doing it just to get through the prep because I just wanted to get back into the swing of things. And I met Emily like 2 days before the show, and she was working the Labrada booth. And I was
Hey,
like, yeah, I was like,
shout out.
yeah, and I was like, oh dang! Like she actually walked into my hotel room with my posing coach at the time, and because they were friends, and I was like, wow, she's pretty. And so I texted my posing coach, and I was like, yo, like, who is she? And she's like, oh, she's obsessed with you. And I was like, oh God. And then the rest is history. So
that's crazy.
um, yeah,
What
no,
year was that?
that
I
was
know
2021. This is
I
a very
know what
It
year
was
that
eventful.
was. You know what's funny? My one of my close friends was very interested in Emily, and then
That
and
is
then
so
like she's like, oh,
funny.
he's like, I don't know what's been going on, man. And I'm like, we see like a few days later, maybe a couple weeks later, I don't remember now. And you guys are dating. I was like, oh well, that's what happened.
Oh my gosh,
The
that's so funny.
guy.
Austin's out here breaking hearts, man.
Yeah, that's
Stealing people's girls.
Oh man.
That's
yeah,
great.
that's funny. This industry is so small. It's insane.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Um,
It's it is funny how that happens because I met my girlfriend at a fitness expo, and she like I had seen her walk by and I was like, holy shit, she is hot. And then like not 10 minutes later, a friend of mine comes up behind me, taps me on the shoulder, and Brittany is with her. And then it was from
oh
there
my
I was
gosh.
like nervous as shit to talk to her. And then like a few months later we ended up like dating and whatnot. So it was definitely it's funny how that stuff happens. You just run into people.
I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like that's always like. I feel like there's just like that one person, if that makes any sense. And I feel like that's Emily. I'm not trying to be like a love story, but
I was gonna ask you like with your whole trajectory that you've been on now, where does Emily fit into that puzzle? Like when she came along in 2021 during that time, like was she a big portion of you getting back into this? Like what does that look like now?
yeah, man. I mean, this dude, I'll be honest, I haven't really done a podcast like really ever like this. This is the first time I really ever been able to like open up about this stuff. It's kind of cool. So, um, yeah, like, dude, yeah, Emily came into my life, and like I said, I don't really think I was a bad person necessarily, but like I still like carried some of the same traits that I had before, and like I had a lot of stuff to work on. I mean, I say all this like I'm such a bad person, but I'm not. Like I just was really hard on myself, and I just now, like, as I get older, I just want to truly be like the best version of myself that I can. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where it comes from. But she just, man, she came into my life, and she's very religious, and I was very not religious. And I mean, I wasn't like atheist or agnostic or anything, but I just wasn't. I was Christian, but I just didn't go to church. I just didn't really read the Bible. I didn't have any relationship with God, and it was just very distant. So it was just like I was a Christian just to be a Christian. And she was a Christian because she was a Christian, and I was like, oh wow, cool. So I want to get all faithy on here, but basically that was a huge thing that I found very attractive in her that I've never found attractive in anybody before. And I think that was like the main thing. Because I mean, I don't know, like I had like it was like a crazy coincidence because like she lived in Tampa, and I lived in Reno at the time. And I'm like, Yeah, man, this is like crazy. I'm like 21 or 22 and I'm like broke, but I'm gonna try to figure out a way to like move across the country because I just like need to be next to this girl. Like this is crazy. And then I'm like, wait, maybe this is a good idea because Tampa's way better than Reno for bodybuilding. And I'm like, there's way more going on there. And worst things worse, if this doesn't work out, then I'm in a good spot, I guess. So I was like, let's do it, let's send it. So I just started like working even more at that job. And yeah, that was between met her at nationals, missed my pro card by like one or two spots at nationals. So that kind of motivated me going from like third call outs to like pretty much, I mean, I was on like 750 milligrams total of gear a week. And I got like fourth place. And I was like, wow, like I was pushing more in my last show. Like if I if I can push that same amount and have this mentality and like approach it with this diet and cardio back then when I didn't really know a whole lot about all this, I was like still learning it myself. I was like, maybe I can really do some damage. And yeah, I met Emily. She introduced me to Cameron. I mean, he was pretty much my first real coach, I would say, that I like took very seriously. Um, and he coached both of us, and that was kind of a cool relationship because it was like we would hold ourselves accountable. And I don't know about her, but like I would always be like, wow, is she going behind my back telling Cameron if I cheat on my plan or not? Like I don't know. Like, I was like, so it kind of held me like, and I know she wouldn't,
I
but
got a
like,
snitch in my house.
yeah, I don't know, but like it was kind of it held me really like tight to the plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, full transparency, like my off seasons haven't ever been the same since then. So it's like it was a cool dynamic because it was like that pressure, kind of like, yeah, people are like relationships are hard in this sport. I'm like, only if you make them hard. Like, yeah, there's gonna be times where they're harder, but like, if you really love the person, you'll figure out how to make it work.
It seems
But
like you guys click very, very well, man. Honestly, from the outside looking in, like because you guys have done a lot of, like, I don't know how many shows you've done together, but I know the last show in Texas, you guys competed together, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, we were super nervous the first time we competed together, just going into that prep, because it was just like I know how I get at the end of prep, just like a head case. And then she just kind of gets like introverted and just doesn't say anything at all. So I'm like, wow, this could like go really well. And we could just kind of do our own little things for the last few weeks, or this could just be like really bad. Like
I,
I
I
don't
was
know.
I was about to
But
say I love my girlfriend to death, but I don't think I ever want to try and prep alongside her. I'm not sure that that would end well. It almost didn't end well with just me prepping. So like, I don't think that would go well ever.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I think it actually turned more into like a let's figure out where we're gonna eat after the show type thing together. And we would like literally like sit down and like we wouldn't like schedule it or anything, but I feel like we would just always talk about like what we wanted to eat. And I don't know. That's kind of where it went. So we were like more collaborative with it. But I mean, there was definitely like hard times, but yeah, I mean, Emily changed the course of my whole career and like my life. She gave me, a reason to like, push for something like more than myself, which, I feel like inherently makes you just like feel like a better person because you're not doing things just for yourself all the time. So like, seeing like it's different because like, I've been in relationships obviously in the past and you don't like look at those people as at least I didn't like look at them and be like, oh, I need to like build for us. It was more like I need to make sure like, I would always just kind of think about being good myself first before I like contributed to the relationship in any way. But this is like, if anything ever happened, like, you know what I mean? Like everything, I gotta put everything down and stuff like that. So it's like it's just like a different type of, I guess, connection. So just gives you something more to push for.
Jericho will agree with me on this. Wait till you have a kid.
Yeah, yeah,
Just,
we haven't
just,
gotten
just,
there yet.
just fucking wait, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Just make it to Olympia again one more time first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, seriously. Yeah. Little,
But
little less, a little more stress free.
yeah, that feeling is what I'm saying of like it's ramped up with like another notch when you have a thing that you literally have to take care of. Like
Oh, I
you
can't
know what I
even
mean?
imagine.
Like
We've had conversations about it, and I'm just like, man, I can't even think about this right now. Like it's just like the thought of having a kid is just like not even. I can't even comprehend what that even would be
I
like.
was your age when I found out that I was having my son, so I trust me, I understand.
Well, dude, props to you, man. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Austin, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, cool.
How
When did
old
you
are you,
start?
Derek?
When did you get into bodybuilding?
One sec. How old are you, Jarek? I've always wondered.
I'm 33, bro.
Oh, you're younger than I thought. I hate to say this, but I thought you were
You
like,
say
no,
younger
no,
than
I
he
honestly,
thought.
no, dude, I honestly thought you were like 34 or 35, but like you're a
Okay,
little,
not bad. Okay.
yeah, like,
Appreciate it.
I don't know
I'm
why.
just
I don't know
creeping him up
why.
closer to 40.
I think it's because no, truthfully, I think it's because like I associate people I see when I was younger on the stage, and like I just immediately think like they're like in like this generation that I
Yeah,
like put everybody else in, and
makes
like,
sense.
that's kind of why I think that. But um, what were you saying, Terrence?
Oh, I was saying what year, how old were you when you started bodybuilding?
Oh, like when I started competing or when I started like training for bodybuilding.
Say, how old were you when you were prepping for your first show?
I was 18.
Oh shit. So it took 8 years to get to Olympia. That's not bad at all.
That's crazy.
I mean, considering
And
that I'm still battling for that, that spot myself.
yeah, and
My
how,
thing is, bro, like you say, like two things. Number one is like a lot of kids they might be watching this right now. They don't like they want stuff to happen quick, fast, in a hurry, but like
Yep.
they like I don't think people put enough respect on the Olympia's name sometimes. Like, yeah, there's a lot of dudes that do it, like a lot of dudes that do it, but in reality, like 60 people in classic is still like less than 1% of the people competing in the world, you know? It's not an easy thing whatsoever. And like if it takes several years or even a decade, it took John, Meadows like 20 years to get his pro card before he got it, you know. I still think that's really, really impressive. Um, yeah, yeah.
it's definitely one of those things that like people, I think just because of social media, they start to believe that it's a lot easier to attain than you think, right? Because people go like, oh, it's easier to get a pro card these days, which I agree. There's a lot more opportunities, right? But still, how many hundreds of people show up to these national level shows and one person per class or per division or whatever it is gets a pro card? That's
That's what they
still
don't
a
realize, dude.
low
Yeah, I mean, like
percentage.
10 years ago, there was fucking 10 people in a
Right.
division. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's more pro cards, but there's 10 times the amount of people competing than there was like
Right.
10, 20 years ago, you
Like
know?
like before we started the episode, we were talking about athletes, and I'm Jarek. I'm sure you hear this. Austin, I know you hear it. It's like when you have athletes who are right on the cusp of turning pro, you'll get messages from people to be like, "Oh, just go get him his pro card." It's like, what do you think I'm fucking doing? What
Yeah,
do you
like
think
yeah.
I'm just telling him like, no, we're not doing it yet? No, this is there's a process to this. Like, let the
Hmm.
shit marinate and don't rush people into this. Like, we're gonna do it when we need to do it, not just because you think he looks good on the internet.
Dude, 100%. And like that's yeah, that's a huge thing I see with clients and stuff is, just like, it's not just like getting the pro card. It's like some of these regional shows are crazy too. Like, people like the sport is growing, in my opinion, like exponentially. Like, and maybe not anymore, but like at least for the last few years, it's just been nuts. Like, I got to see like a pretty cool, like when I started versus now, it was kind of slower when I started in 2018, and it was kind of like it was still pretty hype. It was coming along. Like I think Callum started posting a lot about it. I think Bradley Martin did a show. So like it was hitting some more like mainstream fitness channels. But I mean it was still pretty small in terms of like the shows. Like I remember I went to Excalibur in LA. It was my first show, and I was like, wow, like this is like no offense, but like back then it was just like, wow, I thought it was gonna be like more like a football game. Like I don't know, like I don't know why, but like I thought it was gonna be like maybe like an NBA game or something, like not like big crowd or anything, but just like more like organized and more, I don't know. I just thought I
Wow.
expected more. And I was like, oh wait. But then I started to look at it and I'm like, wait, if this is such a small thing still, if I really plant myself in here and I think I can really do well, then maybe I can climb some ranks. And I think that's kind of just the thought that I've always held on to, is just like, it's still small. It's smaller than any other thing that I could pursue. So, and I'm pretty good at it. So why not just keep going? But yeah, no, Terrence, real fast. I just wanted to say that like I am so grateful that I stepped on that stage. And something that I wanted to point out is people always say like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like professional and stuff? Like I get that question a lot, like when you're backstage and stuff. Holy cow. Like, I'm not sure if like you experienced this your first time or whatever, but I mean, I've been to pro shows now and I've, competed at several of them, and I've obviously competed at a lot of NPC shows, and I went backstage, not even backstage, like to tanning, and then backstage at the Olympia, and I was treated like a professional athlete, like the most professional athlete. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is like really, really cool. I didn't wait at all for my tan. I went in, they tanned me, I left. And then I went backstage and like I had two people come ask me if I needed help when I was pumping up with something. And I'm like, what the heck? There was like two expediters. I'm like, do I need help? Like, this is crazy. Like one of them asked if I needed water. And I'm like, no, I don't need water right now, but like I appreciate it. And I don't know, it was just like that was crazy to me. And like they had
No,
everything so organized backstage, and I'm like, whoa, like this is cool.
it's really nice, man, to see, especially like you definitely notice a difference from like how expediters in the backstage treat you at an amateur show versus a pro show. Like obviously, like they kind of have to. If you're
Yeah.
amateurs, they're screaming at you because people off doing everything. They're picking their nose. They got headphones in, not paying attention. But like at the pro leagues, 99% of the time they treat you like you know what you're doing. You know, they treat you like
Mhm.
you've been there before because you have. For sure, for sure. You know, I want to say real quick, man. Like, I don't know. It's just been. It was on my head too. Like being in the sport 10 years and like seeing like social media and just the industry change. Like it's a lot harder nowadays to do anything whatsoever, to win a pro show, to blow up on social media. All of that shit is a lot harder. Like, because like I don't think people realize like the stuff that's common knowledge today. I remember. That's how I blew my channel up, just talking about resistance curves and
Oh,
moment arms. Like, and not everybody fucking knows what a resistance curve is. Everyone knows that you're supposed to do like train to failure and all that stuff. All that stuff wasn't common knowledge like when I was in 2018, because that's when I started talking about it when I was in Maryland after I was learning from Joe. Like nowadays, there's so many people, like there's teenagers that know that stuff now,
yeah.
so it's very, very difficult for people to like make an impact in the sport now. And like even at the pro range, like to like bro, like the physiques that would make it to the Olympia like in 2016 wouldn't even be in first call outs at a pro show these days. Like I look at my
That's
physique,
crazy. It's actually
it's
funny. It's
insane.
funny you said that because like I saw a picture pop up. I see them all the time, but this one in particular, it was there's some guy next to a Rosh.
I
I
seen
mean,
him.
Arash
I seen
has
him
one of
before.
my favorite physiques, bro. Like his physique is crazy. But like even his, like the size, like it's like the size is so much crazier now. And I used to think he was massive, and he is. But like it's crazy how like that's not like the standard of size for the first two call outs at the Olympia anymore. Like that's
Well,
crazy.
I got a question. What do you guys think that's attested to? Like, is it, do you think the drugs are ramping up? Do you think we're just smarter when it comes to resistance training?
I mean, it's
Guys
literally
All of it
it's
is
it's
everything.
yeah.
just it's the sport. It is bodybuilding. They're going to build bodies. You know what I mean? Like it's just things grow. I feel like that it's kind of a natural thing for it to go that direction. You know?
I mean, if we really sit here and we think about like rationally, like what's changed since then, like
So
really what are the variables that could have changed, you know like supplements have come a ton, like they've come so far since back then.
Like
um
the black, the what you call what's the model called, the black model or
yeah,
the safer
yeah.
use model wasn't a
Mm.
thing.
No,
It wasn't even a thing back
no,
then.
no, not at all. And it like the whole, yeah, protocols, approaches, like, cycle designs, all that stuff has changed so much. And there's just so much more variety. And then you have like peptides, and it's like you have all these different things that you can, utilize. And, on top of that, way more studies, way more, not even studies, but just people doing it in the sport and just sharing from word of mouth, like what's going on. Like that's just going to evolve inevitably over time in any sport. That's like it's like your playbook in the NFL, right? It's like it just evolves over time, and you might share some things with people, but not like whatever, but it's like your secret. And then at some point somebody learns, and it's like that's kind of like telephone game how it works, I think. And I think over time it just kind of evolves. But I mean, it's definitely a different look. I think we can all agree. Everybody says it's the cameras, but it's definitely not the cameras. Like I've seen, pictures and everything, taken with the same
There's a
camera.
different level of genetics, I feel like that's contribute to that as well too. I don't think it's just the
Sure.
drugs, it's
Yeah,
just
there's definitely better
I think it's
structures
just more
popping
open.
up.
We've been exposed more to different, cultures and backgrounds, and these where a lot of these genetic guys coming from, right?
Yeah,
Like Brazil and Africa, and you know what I mean. Like it's just
yeah.
crazy.
Brazil's
Bro,
crazy. Like Brazil's insane. Like
Brazil's insane. You know what's crazy too? There's this one company, they're starting to sponsor Africans, bro. So I'm like, yo, can you not? And like they are really swole, eating one piece of chicken a week, bro. Can you not?
yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Yeah, there's like growth supplements are sponsoring like I think 2 or 3 bodybuilders over there.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
listen, if that's the case, man, listen, I had a guy from, I don't know where he's from, some random country, but his salary was like how much I was like asking him for a month.
Oh
I was
wow.
like his annual salary, and I felt so horrible, bro. But it's like nothing I could do. Like
Yeah.
it was just a bridge between our communication. I couldn't really understand him. Like it was just like it's crazy what these guys are their conditions, and it's wild. It's
And
wild.
then also add that on to like when they come over here, if they make it to the Olympia, like dude, imagine like if you live in America and you go to the Olympia, like I'm not saying it's not as special, but like imagine coming from a place where you're making like no money, but compared to like what we're making here just because of the rate. And coming here, having this opportunity, probably never being, anywhere near the US, it's just like huge here, you know imagine like how crazy that would feel and like how much more motivated you would be to like outwork everybody, and like those guys are hungry too.
That's why I think it would be really
100%.
dangerous if they do sponsor some of these athletes. Like
Yeah.
these athletes would really be dangerous.
Well, I even think the point that Terrence made, just to circle back to that, of like 18-year-olds know like about strength curves and resistance profiles and all this kind of stuff. Like imagine if you had had that information when you were starting your foundation, right? Like all the information that is out there, there's a lot of good information. So like people are starting when they start bodybuilding, they're starting with a good foundation. Like if I had been able to train the way that I have in the last 5 to 7 years in my foundational years, I'd have been a hell of a lot better bodybuilder. I can
Yeah,
promise you that.
bro. I spent
Oh,
years just throwing shit at the wall. I remember reading the magazines and like Lee Priest did like an 8 exercise bicep workout and 8 exercise tricep workout. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
just random. I was like,
I
Yeah. So
used to
like,
literally, I heard this like video. I was like watching this video about bodybuilding when I was super young, first getting into this. And I remember I was in the gym and they were like, if something is lacking, it was Arnold. I think it was in pumping iron or something. And he's like, I just like sculpt it or look in the mirror. And if I see a muscle group that I need to train, then I'll just train it. I'm like, oh, I took that very literally. And I literally went to the gym and I would look at my physique and I'd be like, what do I need to train today? And
oh
that's literally how, no,
wow.
literally that's
I
how I
love it.
did it when I first started. And I didn't do it because he said to do that, but it just made sense in my head and it was working because
Okay.
I have good genetics and I was training hard and I was eating a lot of food and I was just growing. So I was like, wow, it's working. And then I cut down for my first show and I'm like, whoa, there's so many holes in this physique. Like this is wild, like wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I think there's a lot of factors that have a role to play in like the physiques morphing over the years. But while y'all were talking about that, I was trying to find that post because I know what post you were talking about where it showed like one of the first Olympias to this year. It's definitely interesting how much is developed in such a short time period.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the one with Breon on it, right? Breon,
Yeah.
Araj,
Yeah.
Uni
Yeah,
Esther,
I
It
don't
was
know
a
what page
classic
it was
physique
on.
yeah, when he was in classic.
yeah, it's crazy. Then they compared it to like rough. Like, I was
I
like,
was there the first year. I just was all the way off in the second call outs that year. Yeah.
Oh no.
Bro, you've come so far too. It's crazy to see your physique. Like I saw a picture somebody posted side by side. I think it was after the Olympia or maybe right before the Olympia, but I was like, this is nuts. Like this is crazy.
It's tough, man. Like like I'm like I guess me and Breon's leaving, so now I can like it'll just be me from that first one. And yeah, man, it's not easy to keep up. Like I'm like um I've
then
had to take two long off seasons, 2 years off to like I would get to a point where I would start to not do as well. I'm like, okay, let me go back to the drawing board and kind of get back to it. Because like there was one guy that came back that was at the first or second Miss Olympia. He was at the New York Pro, didn't even get, I think he got last call outs.
Oh,
So all
wow.
those guys, like I've seen a couple of them trying to make a comeback and like they haven't done well and no one realizes it because obviously when you don't get if you that's the sad thing about the sport is like if you don't do well, no one knows anything about
Oh,
what's going on, man.
dude, I had a hard time even getting footage from the Olympia. Like, I was like, holy, like, not from the Olympia, but like, I mean, I did have a hard time getting it from, but like,
It
I
takes
had a hard time getting it, like, just stuff. Like, I posted reels of people like, these are so shitty. And I'm like,
dude,
I don't have
no.
anything else.
Just so like it's like even to the point where like the year I played six, it was difficult for me to find anything. So you don't
Yeah.
even like even if you're not in like the first if you're not in the top three, you're not getting a shit ton of content. Top five, you get a little bit, and after that, it's just like you get what you get, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I mean, like I said, it was just like more of like an aura for me the first time. I was like, wow, I was like out there and like, I mean, it hit me, man. Like when I walked on stage, I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. I like looked out and I saw everybody and I'm like, man, this is nuts. I was like, this
What
is
Yeah,
did you
bro.
what did you do for the meet and greet? Did you have people come up or like what kind of what'd you do that?
yeah, dude, I'll be honest with you. We had the travel there was rough, man. Eminent was super awesome. They like got this private jet and everything.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
you
cool as
heard about
shit.
this?
That was
He's
cool as
like,
shit, man.
travel
I'm
was
gonna
rough.
interrupt you. That was
We
cool
flew
as
on a
shit,
private
man.
jet.
No, no.
They rolled up in a
So
private jet.
yeah, so we got this private jet and it was sweet. Like they flew me and Allison, Emily came with us and like their team was there, but they flew me and Allison, the other Olympian, out to the Olympia and we like drove to Dallas pretty much. We're ready to get on the plane and they had to like switch planes because then like maintenance or something. So we had to like downsize the plane. And then we couldn't take any of the luggage with us because it was like maxed out because we weighed so much. And I'm like, shit. So I'm like, oh, my food's in there. Like, I'm hungry. And like, they literally let me take my Tupperware on. That's it. And
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
oh my gosh, bro. So, long story short, we got there and I was just beat. So, dude, that whole day, even like to the meet and greet, I was just
But
like,
you
so
you showed up
exhausted.
late. You did show up really late. What day, you got there Thursday?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
That's
No,
God.
Wednesday. I got there
What-
Wednesday, but dude,
Okay,
I
okay.
was so out of it. Like I was running around. Like we got it. We had everything set up for like the host hotel, and something happened for like the first 3 days. So we had to like get a last minute Airbnb, and it was just like super ghetto. And I was it like the door took like 20 minutes to get into, and I'm like, man, this is so suboptimal for this. And I'm like, but it worked because we got to like prep our meals, whatever, and take them with us to the hotel, and it ended up working out. But
Okay.
no, dude, like the meet and greet was fun. I just like met with like I had like a little line of people at one point. I'm like, hey, I'll take that. That's awesome. And then I kind of just got really tired, bro, I'll be honest, and I dipped.
My first year, I didn't have any people. It was the first year class, so no one knew any of us. So like that was I could never afford to go to Olympia before that. So I just left my booth and met all the people I was fans of. I got to meet like Phil. I was
Yeah,
a huge fan of Sean Clarita at the time, so I went and met him.
that's sick.
He Day was right next to me. Dude, I had a blast. I was I had a blast, man. It was
No,
fun.
dude, I definitely like fanboyed a bunch when I was walking around saying hi to everybody. Not at the meet and greet, but just like around, and it was super
Yeah.
fun. Give me one second.
Flash
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
flash forward to Terrence now being the man that shuts down the meet and greet, being the
Uh,
last one out of there.
Yeah, man. I always try to do that. I always pay attention to who's the last guy there. Um, each year is someone different. One year was Dexter, another year was Logan, another year this year it was Jeremy. Um, yeah, I picked, I was surprised and then he made the announcement he was retiring. I was like, okay, yeah, he wanted to really, really savor the rest this last one, so that's why he did it. But
Yeah, I listened to him and Niall talk about his Olympia experience, and he seemed like he was really like just enjoying every bit of it, trying to like soak it in because I think he could kind of see like I want to keep doing this.
yeah, I need to watch it because I like obviously he has a rough past, obviously, but it seems like I haven't watched anything too much, but it seems like he's matured a lot, and
He
I
he talked
really
about it. It's a good
okay.
podcast.
I
Yeah.
really
who?
appreciate people that make a big Jeremy Buendia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he just did a podcast with Niall on the Transparent podcast, and it was
Oh,
really
dude, I
good.
love this
I listened
podcast.
to most of it, and he talks about that a lot on there, Terrence. So you'd like it a lot, and he definitely seems like he's changed quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, he did a podcast with Honey too, and he talked about it a while ago.
He
Well,
talked
that
about
one,
that
yeah,
too.
that one was
Yeah,
yeah.
and them mending the relationship because they were like tight, like real close, like family, and that whole situation when they kind of separated and all that. It was
Hmm.
nice. It was good.
So Austin, with 2026's changes to qualification standards and whatnot, what is your game plan going forward? Are you planning to compete next year? Or are you going into a phase where you're going to chill for a little bit? I saw you post something the other day about you took some time and kind of reflected on things, but you're feeling that fire again. So talk through that a little bit, man.
Yeah, so I guess before I guess I'm not gonna go super deep into it, but like basically the last, from when I won my Olympia qualification, I won at RGV, was what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something between then and the Olympia. Uh, dude, I got like fake gear and it like completely messed everything. Like, bro, it was so bad. I was taking Sustanon. I got it tested and I don't know what dosing it was because I can't tell from the test, but it was Sustanon. And I'm like, man, if this is, it felt like it was 350, honestly, because I was taking 1 cc of mass P a day, and like 100 milligrams of mass a day, and which is 1 cc. I was taking 1 cc of mass, which wasn't mass, it was Sustanon, and that was,
Oh.
bro, a day on top of my test sip dose. Um,
God
Oh,
damn.
dude, I was like 3,000 plus milligrams of gear, like
just test.
of just test a week.
You monitor your
And
Oh,
blood work and stuff, and like your heart, your BP.
dude, it was freaking crazy. My weight was just all over the place. I was just a wreck mentally. Like, dude, it was the worst 3 weeks I've ever had on prep. And dude, I thought about pulling out of the Olympia so many times because like I was just not looking good. And bro, my body I looked like I got stung by a bee. Like it was, I mean, I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but like, I mean, I posted a video on my TikTok. I'll have to send you a picture, Nick, and you'll have to put it in here or something. But
it's not on Instagram.
no, I didn't post this. It was I'll share it with you though. But yeah, it was like, man, it's a picture of my back double at like Lift ATX, and you can literally see like it was like 5, 6 days difference, and it was just absolutely absurd, bro. Like I look like a water buffalo on the right, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be 2 weeks out right now. I'm like, this is not good. Like this is not good.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that we stepped on the stage and I'm like, I think I'm 28th. I got like 28th. I tried to count, you know how they don't give the placings, but I tried to count. I think I'm like 28th. I'm like, yo, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's cool. I'm really proud of that.
So
So
did you end up like pulling it back? Did you end up figuring out that it was fake before the Olympia, or you just kept running that much test the whole way through trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong?
yeah, so I mean, we had already had to do a lot of things with drugs when I hired Will. So I basically we pulled back a lot of things when I hired Will because I was just having some like just water retention problems and stuff, and just did not feel right. And he basically pulled me off all orals, pulled almost, I mean, he pulled my trend down a ton to like almost nothing. And that's literally what we did into Texas Pro and RGV. And so like I'm like, bro, I look like that on like this. I'm like, this is crazy. So we, started adding more things in for the Olympia. Obviously, it's the Olympia. This is our final little stretch, so we're gonna do it. And I just must have gotten fake stuff, and that was like I think I started pinning that actually right before RGV because we had a little bit of water retention problems at RGV, and it was just like, as a coach myself, I know it was not the peak and it was not the coach. It was just yeah, it was very much just the drugs, and my body was just not responding to things the same way because of the drugs. It was completely wild. I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. It was it was like a complete mind fuck. So basically everything was going very, very smooth. And then that happened right after RGV. Yeah, this is RGV. You can see we're a little watery,
Yeah.
but like I was waking up perfect. And then as soon as we ate, I would just hold water. It was wild. Like it was just like my body was just like not responding the same way it does at all normally.
So
Yeah.
what did you end up doing food wise for this then?
Man, I don't even, we did everything so meal by meal. So we came in perfect to the night show. Like it was great. Like the night, this was prejudging. Like the night show was just like absolutely like I'll send you a pic. Actually, I think I posted a picture of it. But the night show was just absolutely insane. I was so happy with the night. I mean, you can see the where I won the
Is it
award.
further back?
Go up to where I won the award. You can kind of see it there a little bit. I mean, just like
Oh,
Hmm,
a little bit. It's kind of hard to see there,
Whoops.
but
Thought it was going to the next
that
pictures.
was my best look ever. Like, I mean, I saw like pictures that I was taking. I got some people took of me, and I was just like, whoa, this is just like this is the best I've ever looked.
And then after that, things started to go wrong because
Yeah,
of just
so
gear.
I think I took a shot of the mask. I opened a new vial too, like it was like 4 or 5 days out from RGV, and that's when I think I started taking it. And obviously, I was doing test P or mass P, so I was doing daily injections until like I think like 2 or 3 days out is when we decided to pull it. So I don't even know if we pulled it, but I ran it anyways. And then like a week after is when I started to be like, dude, this is fucking crazy. And I messaged Will and I'm like, dude, there's definitely something going on. Like, this is not normal. And I started to get like, just like really, really like puffy in the face. And it was just like really weird. And we figured out it was fake. Like I said, I got it tested and everything. And I was just like, I remember my friend sent me a picture of the test because he has like a little clinic in California. And I was like, dude, I think this is fake. Can you test it for me? And he's like, yes. And I just remember looking at it and I'm like, fuck. Like I was happy because I knew what it was, but I was like, man, like it's sustanon. This is gonna take forever to come out of my system. And I was like, this sucks. So what we did was basically honestly, we just adjusted diet to pull me down. We didn't really we knew messing with drugs too much was just probably not the right decision. Like we obviously pulled it out and switched the mass source. We did find mass that was real and we tested it and everything. So we started incorporating that. And I mean, almost immediately, just from adding in some of the mass from like acting like I guess serum, it kind of helped me drop a lot of water. We adjusted my Arimidex a little bit. And then I he didn't tell me to, but I increased my telmisartan a little bit just at night, just to help with like blood pressure from it. Um, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it kind of came off pretty well. And like the Olympia look, I'm not mad at it at all, considering. The thing is we had three different like these were like Will and I's first three shows, right? And we had three different like peaks completely. Like if you look at what we did, it was like three completely different things. And one of them we won the Olympic qualification. So I'm like, well, apparently like we just need to take that look and apply maybe the more leaner some things from like when we looked leaner, and see what we can do there and just kind of communicate and figure that out. So that's something I'm really looking forward to is just like having that like those conversations and just kind of be more like collaborative with things. I think is going to be really good for me. So really excited for that. But yeah, it kind of just worked itself out. This is going to sound really religious, but I just prayed literally every single day. And I was like, man, like I can't control this. I'm doing everything I can. Like truthfully, I put everything into this. It's like 8 years. And I remember telling Emily every morning, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like I put 8 years into this and like this is not gonna be good. Like I like every morning I would tell her that and she's like, you need to get out of that headspace. And I'm just like, it's just so hard when like I just felt so defeated already. And then I remember I saw my look just come to life the last few days. And I'm like, okay, like we're gonna look good. Like we're not gonna look great, but we're gonna look good. And I'm like, I'll take that. And so I kind of was like, if I can show more confidence on stage and just nail my posing and just, make sure I do everything right there, then maybe I have a chance to like at least be in the talk. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with 28th. I'm so happy. Or whatever it was, 16 times 16.
you got any plans for shows next year?
Not right now. I mean,
You should. You
so
should. I'm telling you, bro. Apply for the Arnold.
bro, I mean, don't get me excited. I'm on cloud nine right now.
I
Like
would. I would apply for Arnold, dude, if I was you. I mean, Jarek's done it. Like, if you thought the Olympia is obviously awesome, but like, there's only so much they can do when there's like 400 competitors. The
yeah.
Arnold, there's 40, bro. Like the level of care and respect you get, dude, and it's. I love
You
doing
just
Arnold.
never know, man. You just never know what could happen, bro, and to have opportunity to step on that Arnold's Classic stage. I think I'm probably
Yeah.
like one of the only athletes who've like stepped on that stage without even qualifying for Olympia, I think. But anyways, that shit was crazy. I got the invite, but you should do it. You should, bro. You got nothing to lose, bro.
Well, and
should.
that's the thing is it's like that's also the thing about the Olympia. Like why I kind of look at this as like, even if I wasn't like necessarily like 100% for like the circumstances, I'm like, wait, like that gives me so much room to like look forward to something next year. I could still be like an underdog in my head, because that's a big thing for me. I like being an underdog. I don't like being like trying to get my Olympia qualification, like being that guy, like trying to win my first pro show. Like, I'm glad that I did that. Now I'm like an underdog again. Now I can like, obviously get to Olympia again, but then like that's my baseline now. So I don't have to worry about like trying to prove myself.
Yep.
I can just prove it to myself. So that's kind of nice.
And one of the things that I said to Terrence a little while back is like with all these run of shows of like Terrence announcing like, oh, I'm going to do this show and this show after the Olympia. For those guys who didn't get to stand next to Terrence, or even like you were in third call out or whatever it was, whatever call out, you didn't get the opportunity to stand next to a guy in second or first. But these are opportunities where you could do that, right? And you never know, like if you just stand next to a guy, maybe you compare really well. And then the next time you stand next to them on the Olympia stage, maybe they're going to want to look at you again, right? So it's like stacking those opportunities to be next to people who they don't necessarily put you next to in a call out can be really big for getting momentum going just to get people to look at you,
Well, look at Derek Lunsford with the
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, man, like he got out there for the guest posing and the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just like,
Here
I'm just like, holy
you come to
cow.
Olympia.
But it was just like, yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at it is I'm like, if I can bring my fullness from Texas Pro and the like a slightly more conditioned peak than RGV over, like with more size, like I'm gonna win a pro show and I'm gonna get first two call outs somewhere in there. Like it's gonna happen next year.
How
So
much more room do you have in your cap?
so much more than I thought. So much more than I thought. I felt honestly kind of bad because like I was complaining about it so much, like a little baby. And then I got to the Olympia and I saw people who actually should be complaining about it and weren't complaining about it at all until they were complaining about it at weigh-in. So I was like, shit, like if I'm over here and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's so hard for me, right? Like these people are like killing themselves to make like 10 pounds, get 10 pounds off in like, a matter of half a day. I mean, it was a little extreme this year, but it's still like, man, like I put it into perspective for me. And I think that's another reason why I'm so motivated because I'm like, I need to work harder. Like I need to work way harder because this whole relying on my genetics thing and knowing a little bit more about this than some people maybe like, you know what I mean? That's not gonna cut it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I need to work my ass off because all these people, that's their baseline.
Yeah. Well, I do honestly, if you don't do the Arnold, I do think like, yeah, like after you win one pro show, I feel like the next step is you can still do the smaller shows, but you still should do like at least one bigger show in the
No,
year.
dude, the Arnold is like that's obviously the Olympia is like my main thing. That's like my
Mhm.
first big goal. The Arnold was like, I mean, it's a close second. Like, I mean, I've never been to the Arnold because I've always wanted to go to the Arnold when I competed at the Arnold because I've just heard it's more like special. I don't want to say that, but like that's what I've heard.
In
And
in a sense, yeah, man.
yeah,
Like I hate
like
to
a different experience. And I heard it's like more of like it's just more intimate because there's less people. So, and I don't know. I was just like, it's kind of like out of the way for me. At least it was. And I'm like, it's not really somewhere where I've lived or go visit frequently. So I'm like, I'm just gonna save that for somewhere where I like, get invited or, I have like a really close friend that's competing or something special.
Cause dude, like I remember one year I did it. Like the intimate is the right word, man. Cause like most shows, like you don't really get to chill with people, talk with people, or like it's so crowded or something like that. When there's just 10 people in a room, bro. Like I remember the one year, like me, Urs, Michael, Ramon, and couple other guys did it. Like I got so many cool photos. That was the only year I took my camera out and took a bunch of pictures of everybody.
So
You know.
I still got photos of me and Ruff backstage at Arnold.
Yeah, man. It was
Last
that's honestly like the best like my favorite show I've done. Just cause like it was so everyone was so chill backstage.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cool.
Jarek, you've done the Arnold too. That's right.
Mhm.
How was your experience backstage?
Man, like Ruff said, bro. It's intimate, bro. It's different. It's a different level of respect. I feel like to actually get backstage, the quality of production, the way they take care of you, just see when I did the Arnold, that was the first time me actually like going to the Arnold too. So like everything was new. Like
Oh, okay,
it
cool.
was crazy. I remember walking like it almost seemed like it was like like game day like football. You walk through the tunnel.
Yeah, like
I
you're
remember having
hyping
a video
yourself up.
with Nick
Yeah.
Walker, and we're just like I'm walking next to Nick Walker, like this is crazy. But yeah, man, it was definitely probably one of my best showings, like in terms of experience. That
Man,
was
I always remember your hair. Your hair at that show was
yeah.
crazy. I was like, that's Jarek. That's I think that's when I followed you. I think I saw that posted all over the place. That's like such
Pink
an
hair that year, no?
Is it your claw? Is it the claw? Was it the one you did?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was iconic.
few little signatures.
Oh, and then, bro, after the show, I'm pretty sure that was the year I invite Jarek to my place every time after the
Yeah,
show, and we
yeah.
have like a buffet. I ordered a
Eh,
bunch of food. I
Okay.
think that might have been the first time we did that.
Yeah.
was
Yep.
that when it was blonde?
No, it was actually like a pink,
He's
like
like
a,
pink.
It was
Yeah.
Oh,
pink.
but
nice.
the
Yeah,
beard was blonde though.
That's right. The beard was
The beard
blonde
was
and your hair
blonde.
was pink. That's
I remember,
There,
bro, like 2 weeks later, bro, my hair was falling out, bro. Like I was like, yo, what the fuck is
you
going
killed
on?
it. You
there's
killed it,
very
bro.
few. There's very few humans on in the planet that could get away with that look, man.
It
I'm
was
just
crazy
saying
because I
that.
remember it was like a trending topic, but I remember what's his name off of Species Nutrition. He called me out on his podcast and was like talking hella shit about it.
Oh,
Dave,
Like they're not
yeah,
coming to see
Dave
your beard,
Cuomo.
they're coming to see your body. I was like, man,
it's yeah.
yeah, but it was cool though. Steve didn't mind it.
The judges half the time don't, man. It's just
Steve don't
random
care.
people that
I think it's
complain all the
cool. Like, show your
Yeah,
personality a little bit.
yeah, I asked Steve. I was like, man, like, does this like affect my placing? He was like, bro, do what you want to do. We're judging your body.
time. Give a shit.
Like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have time to care, bro.
Yeah.
Like they
I make
just
sure
so
I got
many
feedback.
people do. I would hate to be a judge, man. Like I judged one show like when I was like 21, and now like I will never do this again. Like sitting
They get
down for
so much
hours and
hate.
hours and hours watching body after body after body. It's too
Yeah,
much, man.
they're
I
I
not
get it.
worth
posted this reel. There was like some guy who posted some like video and he was like zoomed in on Justin Batterina and he was like talking about how like it was when he just won at the Hurricane, I think is what it was. And he was like this like these judges shouldn't be talking while he's on stage. And I'm like, bro, like I responded, I'm like, if you were sitting there for 12 to 14 hours, you are a human. Like you
Yeah,
would look over and talk to somebody. Like what? Like I don't know. It's just crazy that people like I'm like they're humans. Like
a
give them a
hundred
little bit of
percent.
slack here.
100%, man. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I appreciate them, man, because I couldn't do. I did it once and I hated it. I couldn't do it again.
A lot of them go back to back shows. Like they'll go travel. Like
Yeah.
I'm like that's like countries. I'm like
And
that's
they
crazy.
don't make much of
That
anything
was my
right
next
now, though.
question. Do y'all know what
No,
they make?
I have
I
no
don't know
idea.
what they make, but it's not what you.
What
It's
you
not
would
a
hope?
job. They all
Yeah.
have jobs.
They all love the sport. Like every like that's the thing is it's like if they didn't love the sport, they wouldn't be there. Like that's that they all love the sport. And like that's what I said on the videos. I was just like, like you people act like these people just do this just to for their own better interests. I'm like, these people aren't benefiting from this. Like they're just judging to judge because they love the sport. Like, geez.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Jarek, I was trying to find that look, but you haven't posted anything from the Arnold in a long time.
It's like
Yeah, it's
four or
been a little
5 years
minute.
ago almost.
Bro, I saw
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
picture
Well,
everywhere.
sometimes you post a throwback. Maybe I was going to find something. You know what I mean?
Honestly, there's something on there, but it's me hitting a side tricep with some like quotes over it. And
Uh,
that was recently, not too long ago.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to find this anytime soon. But,
Yo,
anyways,
Austin, I got a question for you. Is there anything like before you turned pro, like you thought was a thing as a pro that like once you turned pro, you're like, oh, I was wrong about that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like it did take, I mean, it did take me a long time to go pro, but it took me a pretty I mean, in terms of like the grand scheme of like my career in bodybuilding, it took me a good chunk of my career to go pro. So I had, I'm pretty observant, I feel like, and I feel like I like kind of like pick around and I like learn things and stuff from different people. And I kind of just got to like learn the sport enough to understand that going pro wasn't going to give me what I thought it was when I guess what I thought it was like financial freedom, cool cars, like because that's what I saw like honestly, that's what I saw everybody had that was like at the top of the sport, Lambos, like living in LA, like I'm just like this is crazy. And I'm like, man, if I can make this work, like if I can just go pro and get sponsored by that company, like that's gonna make me rich. And like I'm not gonna have to have a job. I can do this full time. And then I can actually just do what I love. You know what I mean? And like not have to worry about it. And thankfully, like I had people, before I turned pro, like that I knew very well that were pro, like tell me like how it works. And I got to see it from like a third person perspective kind of. But I mean, yeah, I guess advice for somebody would just be to like make sure you have something else like lined up because it's not gonna pay the bills until I mean it doesn't pay the bills for me right now. Like and I
Yeah.
just got to the Olympia. So it's you gotta have something else. And I think that's the biggest thing is people think like they're gonna have this like sort of freedom when they get there, it's gonna be over, like they just need to achieve it. And I'm like, first of all, you have that video that goes viral and then none of them go viral again. And you have to figure out a way to make one go viral and then you feel like you're failing. So it's just like, it's not as fun as people think, And I think you should just focus on like something you have control over instead of something like social media, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like have like a business of some sort that actually makes money instead of like relying on commissions and
Yeah.
stuff only.
The pro card won't bring the business. It's you and your personality, what you bring to the table that will create the business. The pro card just kind of backs that shit up, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reality is, man, it's always like you said. The reality is, you even said it, man. The top guys had limos. Even, I mean, throughout the history of bodybuilding, it's literally probably been just the top 3 to 5 people in the sport who are making money that could do
Yeah.
just bodybuilding.
I,
Yeah.
Um,
Terrence, I'm curious about that because I saw some people like when they start posting about like the Arnold 750,000, the Olympia 600,000. I'll see some people comment on it and be like, oh look, there's bodybuilding, there's money finally coming to bodybuilding. How do you feel about that with being in your position where you are as far as being like one of the best classic physique competitors that's out there and what the purse looks like for your division?
well, I'm happy that the Arnold and Olympia are fighting over who can pay the most. That's great for bodybuilding. I definitely think classic. I say this a lot, like, and I've been pretty transparent. Like, people can find the interviews. They found a video of Mike from fucking 7 years ago. They could find videos of me on
Yeah.
Instagram. But but when Classic first came out, I thought it was very fair. It was very new. We weren't making much, but at this point, even in 2021, like I had conversations with like Jake Wood and the Mayans, and like they explained to me like at that time the fan base for Classic was very young, and the young guys don't have money. They're online a lot. They get a live stream, but they're not coming in person to buy tickets and things like that. I'm like, okay. But at this point, like my demographic is like fucking child, parents. They have full-time jobs, they make money, all that good stuff now. So I do think Classic should be making more. But the thing is, what I do notice with Classic is, whereas I feel like bodybuilders, since there's less of them, each one holds a little bit more value in a sense. Like Crizzo's not a top 5 bodybuilder, but people still will come out to see Crizzo. But it's a lot harder for someone maybe like eighth or ninth at the Olympia to draw a crowd in Classic. So that's the weird point. I would say the top 5 is pretty comparable to the top 5 in the bodybuilding, but it drops off fucking hard after
Mm.
that for Classic. So at the Olympia, at the Arnold, even Dubai, I think we could make more at the Olympia and at the Arnold. I do think it's fair-ish at the normal pro shows, to be honest with you. Because I mean, like, I've been to normal pro shows and like they're never sold out, like to be realistic. So I think that's what I think. I think at the Olympia, Arnold, we should make more. I'm happy what Dubai is paying us. I think there's one other show paying really well. And Yeah. I'm okay-ish.
You said paying us. Are you telling us that you're going to do the Dubai Pro? Is that your announcement now?
I'm so fucking irritated. Like I've been in so long. It's funny to see shows that I've won and like I didn't make a fucking like half of the amount of money they're paying now. Like I think I got 20K for the Dubai Pro and now they're paying 100K. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man?
Holy crap.
I remember
What?
the first Arnold I won was
Wait.
$6,000 for the Arnold
No,
I
no, no,
won.
no, no, not 20. It was a 20K. It was like 40K, right? At Dubai?
I'm pretty sure it was 20.
Terrence has
I'm
made
pretty
so
sure it
much
was
money he
20.
forgot. He
What was the
forgot.
oxygen? Is that what was the oxygen
That's
one? Is that the one?
That's well, there's two Dubai shows. There's a Dubai Pro and the Dubai Muscle Show, which is the one that happened like a week or two ago.
Mm.
Okay. I
I'm
swear I
pretty
saw
sure
one where you won 30 grand, I think is what it was. Was it 30?
Hey, Nick, I'm trying to forget how
it
much money
might
I
have been
was.
30. The second Arnold Classic I won was 60. The first I won was 6. So like
Oh wow. Holy,
it's been
That's
crazy.
crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's so I'm happy it's moving up 100%.
But
Yo,
it's moving up in a very select number of shows. That's what, like 6 shows, right? So
yeah.
every other show is what, 10? 10
No.
grand? No?
No,
5?
2 to 5.
Yeah.
For classic, yeah.
I
So
mean,
I
Yeah.
mean,
when I won RGV, I only got 3. It was a small show, but
yeah.
I got 3, which I'm
I
not
think I
complaining
think
about.
every pro show should be at least 5. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
my opinion on that.
I think
You,
5 is very fair.
you
I
should be
always
able to walk
think,
away feeling like you actually made some money, not just like made your money back. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You
or
know, it's
even
funny,
having paid
man.
more of it, you know?
I need to have a chat with somebody because I love that we can do everything online now with signing up for shows and whatnot. Because what it used to be was we would have to email
Mm.
the sport and say, hey, I would like to do this show, and I think they was
They'll
email
send.
us back a form, right? And we would have
Yeah.
to sign the form and send it back to them. Now we can just register online. But they've removed the prize money from like you can't see how much each show has for prize money anymore.
What?
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying, right? Like it used to be
Like
like
on the
the show,
websites.
Like on
yeah,
the
it used to
website,
be the
I
show and how
I
much
don't
they
know.
would pay, but now they don't show you how much they pay. And like I'm trying to stick to a rule to where I only do shows that pay at least 10K or more. And like it makes it it makes it difficult to like
Yeah.
to do I can't see it,
Yeah.
right? Brazil, I don't regret doing Brazil at all, but I made less money doing Brazil than I did winning my first pro show in 2016.
Damn.
Yeah, it's wild. The only caveat I could say to that is obviously most of the time Brazilians did do that show. I was the only American. And for Brazilians, 2K is a lot of money.
Yeah.
2K USD is a lot of money.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the
That's true.
only thing I could say I can give them a benefit of the doubt there.
That's true. Yeah,
But
it's just interesting how people hyperfixate on these 6 shows and be like, look at how much money the classic guys are making. It's like, well, that's fucking 6 people who win a show who actually make a decent chunk of change. There's hundreds upon hundreds of other pros who are like, if they get the opportunity to win a show, they're winning a couple of grand, which kind of covers bills
Yeah,
for
literally.
for the prep itself, you know?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
hopefully, man. I don't know about you guys. Maybe this podcast can help transcend the classic physique division a bit. I mean, I can't foresee the future and how much subscribers we'll have, but being able to bring people on and shed light on the athletes may help
Yeah.
in a way, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy to see how the money is distributed and the reasons why, and you know. But at the end of the day, it's like when I first started, man, like I wasn't even thinking about that,
Same.
and obviously as you get older, you got more responsibilities, you got kids. I was like, all right, how can I do what I love and make money? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But also like news outlets, right? Like news
yeah.
outlets make it a huge thing. And
Yeah.
I mean it is a huge thing. Let's be honest. Like it's a big deal. Like we're sacrificing our health for this, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean it's definitely something that shouldn't be taken for granted. But yeah, I guess news outlets don't help with like, getting that out there. So
Yeah.
getting
But
that moving.
it also just goes to prove the point of like if you think you're going to like live in this sport and like this is where you want to do this, This is where you have to create your own business through yourself, right? Because like, how many classic guys do you know that were on the Olympia stage that are way better on social media, making money through their sponsorships and all these other things versus what they actually make getting on stage? You know what I mean? And competing. Like, there's so much money to be made if you do things correctly beyond just getting on stage. But I also agree that like they should be compensated more.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Um, if you're smart, man, yeah, you leverage it, man. You leverage
Yeah.
your position and make as much as you can from it. Yeah.
Well, my goal, like transparently, like my goal was always to all the prize money that I ever earned. Like as soon as I learned like what, like how it really is, like, you know, winning money at these shows and stuff, like when I started to see it more firsthand before I turned pro, I was like, man, if I can like, you know, make a living to pay it for everything that I need to do, like outside of this and, you know, my savings and stuff outside of this, and all that money is money that I can do something with like this sport or new business or something. So like transparently, like all the money that I make from shows, I mean, I like you pay, you know, obviously I pay whatever my coaches, you know, charging like Will, I think I gave like $1,000 to out of the $3,000 on top of like what I normally pay him, just because like I was just like, yeah, I felt overly grateful for it. So I was like, try to give what I can, like when I can, but it's like if I had to survive off of that, it'd be a totally different situation. And now I'm like,
Survive
that
off of
might,
that.
yeah, like that might create a lot
Fighting
of
for your
tension.
life.
But there's people I feel like who just kamikaze these preps, like truthfully, like and that they put a lot of pressure on themselves to like financially like keep up, and I get it. Like, but it being in a good spot before you start a prep financially, or like a decent spot, and maybe not like a great spot, but at least have enough money to get through the prep and like maybe have like a month or two buffer after is like so important for your mental, like so
Mhm.
important.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's cool, man, that you're doing that. Like I had a chat with Lee, and that's how he started Labrada. Like he said, he just saved all this prize money throughout his career, and then once he was
Really?
done, he put it all into the business. You
Yeah, I
know.
was like, it seems pretty straightforward. Like the way I was looking at it is like, wow, if I can just like make enough money to do my thing, and then the prize money is, but like I said, it's like it doesn't always work out like that. I mean, we have things that we run into and stuff that happens and things that go on. And like me and Emily are getting married, like it's expensive. Like, yeah, I got her a ring that's also expensive. Like things add up, you know? So it's like definitely not smooth sailing all the time. That's for sure.
So
Yeah.
basically, everybody go sign up for Austin's coaching. Push him. He needs to pay off this ring.
Yo,
Oh,
I want to say too, man. Shout out to like I haven't seen Nick, your coach as well. You do amazing things, but I've seen Austin and Jarek come up, man, and it's been really cool to see them grow as coaches, man. From like I'm personal opinion, like man, like the level of knowledge you guys have is really cool. Once I stepped away from coaching, I sent everyone. I told them like hit up Jarek or hit up Austin, you know.
I got a couple of people that hit me up. They're like, yeah, Terrence sent me your way.
What a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
feeling.
But no,
That's
I've
always a
actually,
cool
it's funny you
feeling.
said that real fast. I've actually like, because Jarek, I feel like me and Jarek really like, I feel like we started getting into it like right around this, like seriously getting into it right around the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just been crazy to see like, dude, your guys look crazy. Like your guys look really good, man. Like you're killing it. Like for
Yeah,
real.
man. I mean, I really appreciate it, bro, because sometimes I do get in my head a bit about it.
We all
Don't
do,
we
bro.
all?
Like,
Please.
I'm like, shit, bro, I could be
Bro,
better.
honestly, man, like if you guys were coaches like 10 years ago, like this is my opinion. I link back and look at like the coaches from like when I started, and yeah, they had good athletes, but I don't think they're as consistent as a lot of the coaches are today.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
my personal opinion. Just
Yeah.
obviously it's been my memory may not be the best, but that's what I feel like, you know. Like I see
Yeah,
coaches
Well,
now
I
like
can
that don't have a
speak.
big following and like
Yeah.
they're fucking nailing it with everybody, man.
Well, I feel like I can kind of speak for Jarek on this one too, but we both came from like an environment that was like very structured when it came to like coaching, like very
super.
I
structured.
saw Cameron's plans. I was like, bro, I don't know
Yeah.
how y'all check in every fucking day with like the with the no,
Yeah,
like no.
yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I started coaching around the time when Cameron started coaching, but like I took the athlete route a little bit more seriously. He took the coaching route a little bit more seriously. That's when I kind of like separated two. And obviously, Full Circle came back and started really being serious about it.
The
But
full
yeah,
circle came back, bro. Like I see
yeah,
you popping off. Like you're killing
yeah,
it.
man. And it's I've learned a lot from those times, bro. I mean, also, like, man, it's just
Well, just
do
seeing everything
everything.
all the time on there and just
Yeah,
always seeing like listening to what he says, like you just like the detail. It's like you learn through it. And I mean, that's how everybody is, right? It's not like whether your coach is super detailed or not. I mean, you just learn what they're doing and you pay
yeah.
attention, but it's just like a different level of detail, you
Even down to the check-ins, bro. I think we were the first ones to really have like that black backdrop and the lighting and
Yeah, we
everything.
started a
Like,
chain reaction with that one.
like that shit was like we started that shit, bro, a long time ago.
So question for you guys on the coaching side of things, 'cause I'm curious to see if y'all kind of feel about it the same way. Is like, obviously, there's no real like tier structure to like levels of coaches, right? But like, do you kind of look at your friends who are coaches and kind of look at them in a level of like, oh, this guy's a little bit ahead of me and where he is coaching wise, and this guy's way ahead of me? Like, do you kind of look at that same thing and kind of aim of like, I want to get to that level, or do you guys not even think about that?
You want me to go first? You want to go first?
I mean, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. And
Right.
most of the time, I don't even know how much athletes these coaches are dealing with, right? So not really. You only see what the coach is posting anyways, too,
Right.
right? So
Yeah, true. I think for me, it's like my coaching's changed a lot the last like 2 years. And I mean, like the last year, honestly, I feel like I feel like I invested a ton of time and energy and money and just time into learning how all these things work from the ground up. Like obviously everybody has more to learn. I have a ton more to learn. I'm 26. I probably know nothing compared to most people, but it's like I have like a good enough knowledge of everything from the ground up from like, mentorships and stuff and plugging Dom here. Dom Kuza is amazing. But just a
Dom's a
lot of
G.
like yeah, it's like going on like 2 or 2.5 years now. But like basically like from the ground up, I've learned all these things and I'm like now I'm kind of taking a step in my own direction and allowing myself to kind of figure out how to put those puzzle pieces together myself and full transparency like I've missed a lot this year trying my own ways but my clients they're newer clients and it is our like first show together and then for example like I have a client competing this weekend and we did a show about 5 weeks ago and we were off like by like maybe 10-15% if I had to like give a percentage to it. We could have been a little bit tighter and just like a little bit fuller, just like a like normal miss peak, I feel like is like 10-15% off. We're like on, like it's like going perfectly now. And it's just like cool to see like maybe 3 years ago, if I had that same situation, I'd probably be panicking between the two shows. Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And now I'm like, oh, sodium, carbs, boom. Like that's
Yep.
like I can look at it and be like, I know what I need to do. Now I just have to wait and hope he stays. And that's literally what goes through my head now. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I have the knowledge and it gives me more confidence. But now it's like I'd be lying if I said I don't feel more pressure to like produce a really good result because of the
Agreed.
people I've had last year. And I think that just kind of builds is it's like, oh, last year was really good. So now I have to like one up last year. And it's
Yep.
like, I don't look at it like that. And I also don't look at it like as that coach is better than me or like knows more than me. I'm like, that coach, you know, is older than me, cool, younger than me, cool, more knowledgeable than me, cool. But I have these skill sets and I'm very confident in these skill sets that I have and it works for me. And I have 60 to 70 clients all year round that think it works for them too. So it's
Yeah.
like that's the way I look at it.
I got
Yeah, that's what I look at it for the most part. But I do kind of like having this thing of like I don't look at like if me and Austin had clients against each other, or me and Jarek, like I don't look at you guys as like oh the enemy or anything like
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's like well I still want to beat those people, and it's like
okay,
once I can start beating this level of guy, it's like okay I know that I've kind of stepped up a little bit. But at the same time, we also all know how coaching can come down to the most minuscule thing at the last minute, making everything come together. A lot of it's not completely in our hands, and a lot of that nailing it comes down to like a 10-15 minute gap. You know what I mean? So I just like to kind of have little benchmarks of like Jarek is one of the guys that I look at of like, all right, well that guy, he's here. It's like, all right, let me see if I can, let me see what I can
hey,
do. Let
listen,
me see if I
listen,
can get
listen,
some
listen. Hold
confidence.
up. Cameron won't tell nobody this shit, but I am 2-0 against Cameron. He'll never say it. But yeah, I'm whooping
It's
his ass right now.
coach, coaching's such a funny thing because it's like I've been feeling very good about how my clients have been coming together and like the looks that we've been achieving. But then this past weekend, like on Sunday, I had a guy, my guy who did the amateur Olympia. We had one of the most nightmare experiences as far as his peak is concerned. His body didn't want to respond to anything that was happening. Nothing wanted to shift. We had all this information about the last time, trying to make it better, and it just completely shit the fucking bed. And it was one of those things where it was like, oh, okay, I think I was a little too cocky, not cocky, but I was a little too feeling myself, and the world had to let me know, like, hey man, you don't know shit.
I think we all.
It throws some of those at you where their body might not do like what you think it's going to do, and you're like, "Fuck, I really thought I had this one nailed."
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, quick question for all you guys. Do you guys have like coaching goals, like in terms of like do you guys want like a certain number of clients or like a certain number of pro cards or pros in general or somebody to Olympia or anything like that?
I
I
mean,
personally don't. I know it sounds really weird. I personally don't because like it might sound weird. I'm not like I don't like to give myself goals like that. It's just like I know it sounds really. I just like to kind of experience it and just like take it as it goes. And just like I mean, I'm always gonna do my best to make sure the person looks good. And like I think recently something that I've been going through in my head with competing too is like, dude, if you just show up and you give everything you can, you got to just give the rest to God. And that's literally what I do. And I'm like, as long as I show up and I do my education and I give my clients, like, I mean, I'm waking up at 4:30 all prep pretty much to get back to my clients in the morning. And it's like, if I'm doing this, then like I can't really do anything more if I'm constantly trying to learn more and I'm making sure that I'm actually like reviewing everything 100% and giving them my full attention.
Well,
So I don't really have goals, but that's kind of what I do personally. But I'm
I
curious.
think you do have goals. Your goals are just not external. Like I'm big on stoicism. A lot of what you talk about is,
Oh
controlling
yeah.
things you can control, which is also a very good thing. So yeah, it seems like I think you said your goals. Like your goal is to show up for your clients, learn as much as possible, and I think through that right there, you'll get a lot of the other external things, over time.
That's a good way to put it. I like that. I guess I do have goals. Like you said, they're just more internal. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I don't have any like numbers of pro cards or numbers of wins or this, that, and the other. I think it's very similar to what Austin said. And a lot of this is just like who gives us the opportunity, right? Because like Jarek couldn't be the coach that he is if his athletes hadn't gone, hey, look, I want to work with you because I like you, right? Like any one of Jarek's clients could have decided to sign up with Austin or with me or any other another handful of coaches, and then we nail it, right? So it's this thing of like who do you actually get put in front of you and what do you get to do with it,
Well,
and
that's the
that
thing nowadays, man, is
yeah.
like I think all you guys are knowledgeable enough to even like to have people win pro shows is just who it's like a marketing thing now. Like who can you draw in, who has that talent or that those genetics to get that type
Hmm.
of place. And like I hate to do it, but like I don't know his name, but Derek's old coach, right? Like he got put with Derek and he made it to the Olympia like several times,
Is it
because he
James?
had like a one in a generation like type of physique that he found,
Wasn't his
right?
name James or something? Was it James?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Anyway, I
like
don't want
But
to
Derek
get
it,
But
Whinsworth.
we
yeah,
haven't seen anything from him since, right?
yeah.
yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes down to who gives you the opportunity and then what you do with that opportunity. And like, I think we're seeing that become a big thing right now. It's like not necessarily like for example, everybody and their mother's talking about Nick Walker and Kyle Wilkes splitting right now, right? And while that's not going to completely ruin Kyle's reputation because he's a good coach and he's worked with a number of people, there's still going to be a little black eye on him for a little bit, So like, if you quote unquote fuck up, you can give yourself a bad look for a period of time, and then people eventually move on. So it's like those opportunities when they present themselves, you better be ready to fucking nail it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I think, and that's why it's kind of hard for me to set a goal for like, I have goals, don't get me wrong, but to set a goal for like how many pro cards you gonna get or how many, it's like, I know who's gonna show up at my front door. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, even if it's somebody who's like really good shows up, it's like, they may just be like a head case or they don't
Right.
want to listen to what I
Oh
say
my
or they're too
gosh.
good to be. So
Right.
it's like, I just like Austin said, like just put my best foot forward in terms of that. But as far as like numbers, like I do set myself like goals, like in terms of numbers, like in
Yep.
revenue. Like I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. So I do have goals to reach a certain number or a certain revenue at a certain
Yeah.
time.
The The
I
other thing
did
is
want to.
like if people give you enough time, like I'll say that quickly. Like people also have to give you enough time. Like Blake, my athlete, that we were talking about earlier, like he's been with me for 3 years now. There's no way that I would have been able to done what I've done if he was like, you have this year, and then if you don't do it, I'm moving on, and then somebody else gets that opportunity. So it's a lot of like whether somebody wants to stick with you because of what you've done. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Terrence.
No, you're good. I did have a goal, man. I wanted to have one guy. I wanted to qualify someone for the Olympia. Never happened, but and my thing is with my external goals, like if they don't happen, I don't. It doesn't like bring me down at
It's
all.
actually a really good goal. It's a really
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
goal.
yeah.
I actually want to do that too.
That's a sick
That was
goal. I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
definitely okay. That's definitely should be one of my goals. Yeah.
Yeah,
Would love to have. I'm not
definitely.
gonna say I wouldn't want that. Like obviously,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like fixate on it, but like I guess that is a goal. Yeah, I guess I have
Mhm.
goals.
Terrence, after you retire, do you think you'll go into coaching?
No, never
No.
again. Never again.
No. All right. Hey,
Well, I don't
again,
get it. Like,
I
I didn't
get it.
have a bad experience, but to
Terrence
be
was
honest with you, man,
traumatized.
seeing you guys do it, like how passionate you are and how good you are, and like it's just, like I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not meant to
Yeah,
do. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So like, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
the one thing about you, Terrence, bro. You're someone who's really good at that, bro. To
Mhm.
identify, like, okay, I'm asking this, and I'm really good at this. I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm not about to waste no time. Like
Yeah.
that's what I respect a lot about you, and just in a tribute that that I learned from was that, bro. You just know exactly what you want and what you don't want. You know. So I just want to throw that out there. My bad.
Man, thank you. I
I,
appreciate
I
it.
was I was like I was like Austin too when Terrence followed me. I was like, oh shit, Terrence followed me. You know.
Bro, it's crazy. I'm like, holy crap. This is nuts.
So
Oh,
Cool. I mean,
yeah.
we're at an hour and a half here. We got anything
Wow,
else,
water.
fellas?
That timed perfectly.
all right
There you
then.
go.
All right.
Cool. Well, hell yeah, Austin, dude. Thanks so much for coming on, bro. That was a great
Yeah, man, of
conversation.
course. Tag me, whatever. I'll repost it.
Yeah,
Or
for sure. It's still recording now, so if you want to
oh,
tell anybody what your Instagram tag and all that stuff is, like, so they can go find you.
yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. All you guys, I appreciate it. I remember when you guys started this and we had the conversation about me potentially being on, so it's cool. But yeah, my Instagram is just Austin_Espy_. Um, my YouTube just Austin Espy. I actually don't know what it is. And then my TikTok is Austin Espy. But yeah, I'm just thank you guys so much, and I'm super excited to hopefully be on after next Olympia or maybe after the Arnold if we try to apply for the Arnold.
Yeah, yeah. Come on whenever you want, man. Yeah. Happy to have you.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
I told you at the Olympia when I saw you that like your physique has always been one that I've really liked a lot. So I'm really excited to continue to see what you do and like continue to see how you evolve as an athlete. Because like as you're getting closer to that weight cap, it's going to be such a different ball game. But like the physique that you have and the baseline that you're starting with is really good, and I think I don't know how Terrence and Jarek feel about it, but like I think you have the potential to continue to climb that rank and be a force in classic physique.
Thank you,
Now
man.
that you have a weight room in the weight room, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I
yeah.
never said I have about. I mean, we were a pound under with like 2 meals in and
Oh,
3 liters of water. So
easy.
I mean,
you got plenty
hey,
of stuff.
Yeah,
we're golden. So we
yeah,
have like what maybe 4 to 6 pounds, maybe just with
yeah,
more conditioning too, like 10.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very excited to see how things go, man. But
Thanks, man.
for everybody who is still watching at this point, make sure you do the YouTube thing, subscribe, like, comment, share it with your friends, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, later, guys.
Later.